You know, what's the fun in doing a card trick where the outcome is always the same regardless of what the spectator does? Right? Like imagine being a magician, and you might be a magician, where you set out 5 cards and you have the spectator pick one. And you just eliminate cards until they pick their selected card and you're like, oh, that's the card. Like what? Go ahead and pick any card. This one, okay, we'll get rid of that. This one, okay, we'll get rid of that. This one, okay, we'll get rid of that. This one, okay, we'll get rid of this one, and there's your card. But what if there was a card trick that allowed a free choice regardless of what the spectator did, and whatever card they chose ended up being their card? What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. If you're joining me here for the first time, hey there, my name is Vinny, and I go by CardMechanic here on YouTube. One of my friends from the Underground Club asked to see a card trick that has multiple outcomes based off the spectator selection. And I'm like, you know what? It's been a long time since I've done one of those tricks, and since you asked, I'm gonna put it on the video roster. So before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, grab your favorite deck of playing cards, and now, let's do it. Alright, yo, so check this out. For those of you who are curious, I'm gonna be using the Jack Seller playing cards. Look at that nice shine come through. And we're gonna start by taking the cards out of the deck, and I'm gonna need 3 helper cards, which I'll put over to the side, and you'll see what they are in a minute. But first we want a card selected. Let's say this card right here. Take a look at it, memorize it. Once it's done being memorized, I'll shuffle it into the deck. Now, generally in most card tricks, there's usually one output, right? There's usually one outcome. It's whatever the magician wants the outcome to be. But in this trick, there's gonna be 1, 2, 3 potential outcomes. And let me show you how that's gonna work. So I have 3 cards here. I have 1, the 3 of spades. I have 2, the 2 of spades. And I have 3, the ace of spades. And now I want you to go ahead and select any number, 1, 2, or 3. You can go ahead and pick out any number, and whatever number you pick, I will transform your card into that card. Isn't that pretty impressive? So go ahead and name any number. Let's just say you name that number 3. All right, so check this out. This is really cool. 1, ace, 2 is the 2 of spades, and 3 changes into your card, the 8 of diamonds. And now here's where it gets even better. If I give the deck a couple of cuts like this, maybe one more cut like this, the 3 of spades will actually reveal itself in the deck. Check it out. Boom. You'll see 1 card and 1 card only is face up, and that's the 3 of spades. Alright, yo, so welcome to the tutorial. Just to give you some background on this effect, it's known as Still Your Choice, and it's by Harry Lorraine. And I feel like I may have taken the easy way out on this one because kind of cheated the performance. Side note, I shot 3 performances, and this is the only one that actually looked okay, so that's the one I went with. And you'll know what I mean once I actually reveal the trick. So that being said, let's go ahead and break it down. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna start by taking out 3 cards, and you could do this in front of the spectator if it's shuffled into the deck, but whatever you wanna do, you wanna take out 3 cards, a 1, 2, and a 3, or an ace, 2, and a 3. I just like using spades just because I feel like spades is a really cool suit, but you can use whatever suit you want. I think in the original effect, they asked to use clubs, but again, completely up to your discretion. So you wanna take these cards out. I'd recommend you don't show them to the spectator yet. When you're taking the cards out, just take them out like this, and then put them all face down on the table, and you say you'll get back to them in a minute. And you just push those away from you so you know that, the spectator knows that you're not gonna be touching those. And then you have a card selected by the spectator. Let's just say it happens to be the Queen of Spades in our case. I love these cards. So I'll put the Queen of Spades right on top. And I want to do some kind of shuffle where I retain this card on top of the deck. So if you want to give it a false cut, something like this, you can do that. Oops. You can do that and the card will still be on top. If you want to give the deck a false overhand shuffle or a controlled overhand shuffle, like I did in my performance, you can do that as well. But whatever you want to do, just maintain that card on top. And if you don't know how to do any of that, I'll put the link to them on the screen so you can go ahead and check it out. So once you have the card on top of the deck, of course you don't tell the spectator, you come and grab these cards. As you're grabbing these cards, you want to grab a break right underneath this top card. Now, the easiest way I find to grab a break while doing other things is just to do a pinky count, and you just count 1 card over. If you don't know how to do that, again, tutorial for that will be on the screen. So you count that 1 card over. If you're not comfortable doing that as you're doing this, you can always push out, pull back, and as you pull back, insert your pinky right in there, and you have that break. So whatever method you want to use, and then you have these 3 cards, you put it on top. Now you say, I'm going to show you what these 3 cards are. You pick up the entire 4-card packet, flip over the top card like this. You're holding it, the top packet of here. The spectator thinks there's 3 cards. You know that there's 4 cards. Hold it in a middle grip, ring finger and middle finger on top, thumb on the bottom. peel off the top card like this with your non-dominant thumb, the thumb that's holding the deck, and turn it over with this packet showing the 3 of spades. So this way you're showing the spectator, you have 3 of spades. Turn that back around. I actually forgot to do this once. That was kind of embarrassing. Remember to turn it back around, drop the rest of these over, take the top card, which is the 2 of spades, and then using this card, you turn over the next card, which is the ace of spades, and then you turn all that face down. So again, up to speed. Let me get my cards out. You have these 3 cards arranged like this: 3 of spades, 2 of spades, ace of spades. Again, you have that break underneath that card. You show, boom, 3 of spades, turn that face down, drop the rest of the packet over. You show, boom, I have the 2 of spades, and then I have the ace of spades. Then you turn all that face down. And now you're gonna kind of tell the spectator that a lot of the times, magicians only have one outcome for the trick. So regardless of whatever you do, it's always the same. But you will give them multiple choices. They can select either 1, 2, or 3. And when you say or 3, you really want to emphasize or 3 because that'll give you the best outcome. Or 3, and I'll transform any of these 3 cards into your card. And as I say that, I make sure to peel off those cards. So 1, put it towards them, 2, or 3, and this is where I really gesture towards them because I want them to pick the number 3. So I really gesture towards them and say 1, 2, or 3. Then I come back here, square everything up, grab a pinky break underneath that card. Now keep in mind, this is not an ace 2 and 3. This is an ace 2 and the spectator selected card, in our case the queen of spades. Now ideal outcome if they say the number 3. If they say the number 3, you can literally just say, okay, 1. I like to flip the cards over, by the way. You have the ace, you have the 2, and then you put over the 3 and say, boom, check it out. There's your selected card. The 3 has changed into your selected card. Now, there are other outcomes as well. I'll continue with the rest of the trick once I go through the other outcomes. But there's the card, okay? Now, let's say they selected the number 2. What are you going to do now? This is much more complicated. You have your break under those cards, right? You have your break under the top 3 cards. What I like to do is I like to take this card, flip it over, and this just kind of confuses the spectator and what's going on, so it helps to hide your sleight of hand. So you can show I have the ace, and you want me to transform the next card, which is the 2. So now I'm taking this ace, I turn this 2 face down, and I say I'm going to sandwich the 2 between the ace and the 3. So I show the ace like this, front and back. You want to make sure you square, again, make sure you have that break underneath the top 3 cards, right? So once you take the ace off, you have the break underneath the top 2 cards. And now you're going to grab this card or these 2 cards as one. So you want to make sure everything is squared up. You move the ace on top of it as you insert these fingers underneath it like this. And you, again, as square as possible. That's going to be very key. And then using this card, you're going to turn over the next card and say 3. So you have the ace, 2, and the 3. And now what I like to do is give the cards a magic rub on top of the deck like this. And then I turn this hand over, revealing that the queen of spades is there. Make sure the card doesn't split. Peel that off slowly and square that with the rest of the deck, showing that you transform the 2 into a queen. And that's how you transform the 2 into the queen. And transforming the ace is very similar. Let me just get set back up again. I don't know if you could tell, but my sweaty hands have warped this card. Like, check it out. Boom. That's what happens. If I put this in the center of the deck, you can clearly see there's like one warped card like right over here. But anyway, back to the trick. So we have the ace, we have the 2, we have the spectator selected card, and we have the 3. And we've gone through 2 and 3. What would happen if they pick the ace? So for the ace, this is what you're going to say. In order for this to work, the card that is being transformed has to be sandwiched between the 2 other cards. So I take the ace, I show them face up, that the ace is there, and I put it at the 2nd position. And at this point, it's going to be in the exact same position the 2 was in. So you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to show the 2. You're going to say it's sandwiched between. And you're going to show the 3. Magic rub. Turn it face up. Oh my god, it transformed into the queen of spades. And that's how you transform any one of these cards. Now, at the end of the card trick in my performance, you saw that I did kind of a kicker where I turned one of these cards face up in the center of the deck. And that move is actually very simple. It's known as a brow reversal. And the way that it's going to work is all you need is the card that was changed, right? So let's say let's say we just did the last move, the ace is hidden behind the queen, and we have the 2 and the 3, right? So you can take the 2 and the 3, you can either take this or tilt this toward yourself, put these cards down like this, and then you can literally just give a cut to have that card in the center, or if you want to go the brow reversal route, You have these 3 cards, you turn them all face down, square them all up, turn them all face down, and then you say, you're probably wondering where the ace is, or many people don't even wonder where the ace is. You get a break underneath the top card, you break off about half the deck, turn it face up on top of your break that's here, take the rest of the cards underneath the break, turn them face up here as well, give the deck 1 cut, and then you can spread out the cards to show that all the cards are facing down, except the 1 card that was originally transformed. And that is some magic. In case you're wondering, that's my dog. She just likes to lay down under the bed and just not do anything. Have a good day. To watch another card trick that has multiple outcomes, click on this video right over here, because if you like this trick, you will love that one. And if you have some extra money lying around, I'd love to have you join the Underground Club to help me create better content for you. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. Have a great day ahead, and I hope to see you in that video or in the club.